All right, hello and welcome. Today we're going to talk about something that's, a little personal. We're going to pull back the curtain on a very modern habit, a very private space, and a surprising health risk that, trust me, you'll want to hear about. Let's dive in. And just to kick things off, I have to ask you a quick question. Where are you right now? No, you don't have to say it out loud, but just keep that thought in the back of your mind. It's going to make a whole lot of sense in just a couple of minutes. Okay, so let's set the scene here in what we're calling the modern throne room. I mean, let's be real. Our phones are basically glued to our hands these days, right? They go absolutely everywhere with us. And yep, for a lot of us, everywhere definitely includes the bathroom. It's not just for business anymore. It's where we catch up on the news, scroll social media, the whole shebang. So, just how common is this? You might be surprised. A recent study found that a whopping 93% of people admitted to using their phone on the toilet at least once a week. Yeah, 93. So if that's you, hey, you're in very, very good company. And what's everyone so busy doing in there? Well, the study actually broke it down, and it's pretty interesting. About half the people are reading the news, 44% are doom scrolling through social media, and another 30% are actually firing off emails or texts. It's pretty clear our phones are doing a fantastic job of distracting us from, the actual reason we're there. Okay, so we established that toilet scrolling is a big thing. But here's where it gets really interesting. What if I told you that that same study found a connection, a really unexpected one, between this very normal habit and a, let's just say, unwelcome health issue? The researchers started digging into the data, and they noticed this pattern emerging. They found a link, a direct correlation between taking your phone to the bathroom and, well, it's a perfect example of how our modern tech habits can have these side effects we never even considered. A 46% increased risk. An increased risk of what? Of developing hemorrhoids. Yep, you heard that correctly. The study found that people who were scrolling on their phones in the bathroom had a significantly higher risk for this condition compared to the people who, didn't. So, just so we're all on the same page, what exactly are we talking about here? It's not that complicated. Hemorrhoids are basically just swollen veins in the lower rectum. They're typically caused by putting too much pressure or straining on that area for too long. It's actually super common, but yeah, it's definitely something most of us would rather not deal with. And I think the study's lead author, a gastroenterologist named Dr. Trisha Satyabasricha, really nailed it. She said something like, "We're still uncovering the many ways smartphones impact our health. It's possible that how and where we use them can have unintended consequences. This is just one little piece of a much, much bigger puzzle." So we've covered the what. Now for the why. I mean, how on earth can scrolling through your feed possibly lead to a physical problem like this? It all comes down to the science of, well, sitting. Seriously, what is actually going on? It turns out the very act of sitting on a toilet is kind of unique from a physiological standpoint. The design of the seat itself, plus the posture we're in, creates a very specific kind of pressure. So what's the chain reaction that this can kick off? Okay, so here's the theory, step by step. First, you're on your phone, you get sucked into a video or an article, you totally lose track of time. That leads to step 2. You're just sitting there way longer than you actually need to be. Then, step 3, all that extra sitting time puts a lot of increased pressure on the veins down there. And finally, number 4, that constant, sustained pressure can cause those veins to swell up. It's a pretty direct line when you lay it all out like that. Which, of course, brings up the million-dollar question. How long is too long? And while the experts don't totally agree on one exact number, some say you should be in and out in under 10 minutes. Others are even stricter, suggesting less than 3 minutes. The general vibe, though, is pretty clear. The shorter, the better. Get in, get it done, and get out. Now, we have to throw in some really important caveats here. This is a big one. This study shows a correlation, not causation. That means there's a link, but we can't say for sure that the phone is causing the problem. Also, it was a pretty small survey, just 125 people. And get this, the last major national data we have on this whole topic is from 1989. Seriously. So the bottom line is, we definitely need a lot more research. So, with all that in mind, the science, the stats, the warnings, what are we actually supposed to do? What's the practical advice here? Well, it really boils down to a super simple principle, which we can call the 3-minute rule or something like it. There's a great line from the source material for this that I just have to share. It says, Going number 2 should be your number 1 priority, not scrolling on your phone. I mean, it doesn't get much clearer than that, does it? Your phone is literally engineered to capture and hold your attention, which is the exact opposite of what you need in that moment. So, what's the safest bet here? It's actually pretty simple. Leave the smartphone outside the bathroom. That's it. Just make the bathroom a phone-free zone. I promise, your feed will still be there when you come out. And that kind of leaves us with one final thought to chew on. This whole phone on the toilet thing is just one tiny example of how our new modern habits can affect our bodies in ways we never expected. It really makes you wonder, what other everyday things are we doing right now, things that seem totally harmless, that we'll look back on in 20 years and think, wow, we really used to do that? Something to think about. Thanks so much for joining me.